Today I want to share with you the supplements that I am taking. Okay? I remind you that I'm a naturopath of 30 years teaching supplements, most of these years, and this is my needs. Okay? These are all important things. I want to share with you this in order to give you some perspective on how it looks when an accurate personal adjustment with supplements is added to your life. I'll be sharing what I'm taking and what I'm gaining for it. And that way, I think it'll give you some clarity as to how one should use supplements professionally. Okay? So, what do we start with? Well, I have them all here, so I'm going to be showing you one at a time exactly what I'm taking. But please, before I do that, one request. Do not imitate me. One of the catches about being me is that I've been born with a body that's kind of sensitive to all kinds of stuff. Sensitive in a way that I need extra support for this body to keep it shining rather than creaking and cracking. Okay, from a very young age, I already had all kinds of little challenges that proved to me that my body does not like how it started, I guess, but also how it's built. That's part of the challenge of being me, not someone else. So this is the result of me being more accurate for myself. And you'll see as I explain that there's a lot of thinking behind what's taken and what's not taken and how it works. So let's start. Okay, the first thing that I'm taking, and I'm taking a similar or different but not necessarily the same one, but over the years I've always taken a multivitamin. In this case, it's a 2 per day that you'll find in my lists. You know, the link is below. I've changed multivitamins over the years simply because I found better, more accurate, things that felt better too. But why take a multivitamin? Well, in the link up top, I'll put a video that deals with that question in depth. But in general, if you take one thing and only one thing, I would do it with a multivitamin. Simply because it gives a basic spectrum, not high dosed, but enough of all the minerals and vitamins that you might need to give support to the wonderful nutrition that you're adapting. And if you're not adapting a wonderful nutrition, let's stop here. There's no point. You know, supplements do not replace food. I'll be talking about that on a separate video. So multivitamin is like a support base for anything else. And it's not just a support base. It also means that if I take something specific within the family of B complex, for instance, that I won't be disrupting the balance. It also means that if I take things that require one of the ingredients within the multivitamin, they're supported. Otherwise, I would have to take that extra as well. You know, I would take the B6 with the magnesium, and then I would have to take anyway a B complex. That's the basic rule of B. So it simplifies. It truly simplifies. Okay, let's take the second one. Okay, the second thing I'm taking is something that most people today need, not because they need, but because when I test it, it proves they need. This is not a philosophical thing. Vitamin C, basic. Okay, why is it so basic? Because it's one of the most important antioxidants. It's water soluble, which means it gets out into the urine within hours and you're done. It's very hard to get enough of it because today's food do not have enough. Hey, I'm digressing. There are separate videos in each of these. But for me, the simple answer is I test it, I need it, I'm taking, and every once in a while I repeat the test to make sure I'm not just taking it for the sake of taking it for habit's sake. If I don't need it or if I need less, I take less. If I need more, I take more. I listen to what my body is reflecting through that test. Okay? Let's talk about the next one. Okay, the next one's also something I test for, and that's the zinc. I take it in doses of 50 milligrams. You can take it in less, and you can take it in more because that depends on how much you need. I've had a period when I needed 1,000 milligrams a day. That's what my body needs at the time. Go figure and go argue. Why argue with your body when you know it's saying, I'm missing this, please bring more, bring more. Okay, important. If it's missing, why? Because this is like the most important element for creating enzymes in your body and a million other reasons. I'll be talking about it separately in a video on the zinc, but for me, it's pretty obvious that when I take enough zinc, everything functions better. Okay? Everything simply functions better. It's very, very obvious. When I take it down for a period, I feel the pain. Let's see what else. Another very important thing that is, again, my body screaming if I stop, and not because I'm addicted to it. It's a very important question. Yes, I heard you. No, it's because my body is saying, boy, do I need this. And I'm a more relaxed person than average, but still, 21st century, even at the best of times, we're not relaxed enough to actually not burn through magnesium. Okay? Magnesium is one of the most important minerals out there. And when I do statistics, I think 70% of my patients are missing magnesium. They're definitely deficient. And when I add the magnesium, their lives go so much better. For me, if I don't have enough of this, my sleep becomes a lot shallower. And I really don't feel the depth of it and the quality of it in the morning. Okay? It also gets to the point where it gets some muscle cramping if I exercise enough. And why would I want that? And it has a magnificent effect on the bowel movements to the point where it's Swiss. I mean, no hiccups. Very comfortable. And very efficient and good bowel movements are super important for your health. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Does it sound a lot? I'm not done yet, but that's a good question. Is it a lot? Well, thankfully, most of my patients don't need that many. I'm just sharing my picture right now, so I'm just sharing the truth the way it is. Thankfully, most people need like about what I showed you now at most. But some people actually do need, like I need, more, and it's wise to take what your body is asking for. So, the next thing I take is actually an interesting lesson in its own right, and that is lysine. Lysine is, and I know, it is in English too, so yeah, don't complain that it's only in Hebrew or something. Okay, lysine is actually a super important protein element, amino acid. Okay, and it's important because it has a lot of functionality both in stress elements and in what is called today antiviral environments, specifically the herpes virus. Okay, when I was younger, I had them like every other week. And that was not fun to have all these sores on the lips, you know, they would be really big and painful and stuff like that. And ever since I realized that they're a reflection of deficiency in lysine or a hyper consumption of food containing arginine, a story in its own right, I will be making a video on that because it's important. The understanding that that is part of the basic balance means you understand what food you want to have more and what food you want to have less. But since it's very hard to prevent as a nearly vegan person, the amount of arginine from being medium high, taking this on a regular basis, 1 pill a day, prevents the need to deal with recurring blisters and pain. So why not? The next one is actually a curious one, because despite the fact that I'm eating like golden, wholesome, organic, whatever not, in our reality, with all the toxicity, the oxidation is apparently too high in my system. Despite all that, it's still too high in my system. And then I can see the cholesterol starting to climb, and I don't want to wait for it to get to impossible digits. It's a reflection of hyperoxidation. So I'm doing my best to actually balance it out. And one way to do that is to consume vitamin E. Okay, I take 2 of these a day. That's 800 units a day on top of what's in the multivitamin, and my system feels much better for it. I can actually feel the shift happening. Of course, I also changed something in the diet. I also did a few more corrections in my lifestyle, added a little more yoga. It's not a single tool, operation. You do not want to stick to only supplements all day. That is not going to get you healthy enough. But why would I want to give up on one of the few things that have proven to give you longer life, longer and good life? Vitamin E does that. It's proven. And the last thing I take, and I take that on and off. I don't take that regularly. It depends on the situation. I take, turmeric. Turmeric has a wonderful capacity to help reduce inflammation in the body. I just eat a lot of turmeric too, so I rarely actually need this, at a high dose. But once in a while, if I've done too much physical work, like try to build something here in the house or something, and my joints start showing signs of discomfort from that effort, that's me being me. By taking this, I immediately bring it down to a reasonable level, and just all the joints start feeling wonderful. So it's a tool, and it's a very practical tool. This is actually herbology. It's not really supplementation of the kind of which I'm talking about here, but since I am taking this routinely, I'm just showing you this as part of hearing how I think behind the scenes. That's all. I'm not taking any more. Sometimes I do need a few other things. Sometimes I actually reduce a lot of what I'm taking to a much lower dose or not at all. But usually when I test it to the extreme, I just, okay, let's take a break. For me personally, it comes with immediate repercussions that are not very strong. They're very, very mild. But I know exactly what will happen if I just neglect it over time. My body is very clear. I need that. Please don't stop. Okay? I'm hoping to get to the point that the agriculture around me is so much better that the food will actually have enough that I don't need this. But so long as we're living in a toxified world with nutrition that even at its best is still not enough, why would we want to pay the price just to avoid popping a few pills when there are wholesome and naturally sourced pills like those I've shown you? Okay? So if you want to share what your routine is, just write it below. If you have questions about mine, I'll be glad to answer. And if there's anything else I can do to help, well, just keep me posted.